Now on to our final demo. Last but not least, we are so excited to welcome cookbook author, Food Network personality, and world traveler, Simon Majumdar. Please welcome Simon.
Hey everybody, Simon Majumdar here. Now, the International Sous Vide Association asked me if I would put together a video of one of my favourite sous vide dishes to show some of the regional cooking that I love when I travel around the world. So I thought I would show you my favourite Bengali chicken curry that I love to make in my sous vide. So I am getting everything set up here. I have all the ingredients in front of me, so if you stick with me, I'll show you a fantastic recipe that you can try at home. See you in a bit. Dry spices: cumin seeds, green cardamom seeds, white mustard seeds, cloves, coriander seeds and star anise. Bengali 5-spice or panchparon mix: fenugreek seed, nigella seed, cumin seed, black mustard seed and fennel seed. Vegetable oil or canola oil. 1 chopped onion. Minced ginger, minced garlic, minced Serrano chilies, Kashmiri chili powder, garam masala, kosher salt, hot red chili powder, white pepper, turmeric and ground ginger. 1 can of chopped tomatoes, chopped methi or fenugreek leaf, chopped cilantro leaf, skinless bone-in chicken thighs. So, one of the key things when you're cooking Indian food, if you're using dry whole spices, make sure that you toast them first before you grind them. That way they're going to release all of their oils, their natural oils. So here I have cumin seed, I have green cardamom, I have white mustard seed, I have star anise, I have cloves and I have coriander seed. So these are all going to go into a pan at a very low heat. I don't want a lot of heat here. And I'm just already in this slightly warm pan. You can actually smell them already. Once they go in, they begin to pop and crackle, and that's what we want. And you don't want to burn them. In fact, once you get to a point where you can't actually touch the pan because it's got a little too hot, you'll find that they're about right, and you can already smell those flavors coming off now. It reminds me of being in India. So not for terribly long. I don't want to get too much heat into these, and I certainly don't want to burn them. That'll give a bitter taste to your curry. Once you start getting this smell, now that's about ready. I don't want to go any further than that. So you can see all those wonderful seeds in there. They're smelling absolutely fantastic. Just going to grind them up to a fine powder. So now we're going to start off our curry with a very special ingredient. This is a Bengali, what we call panchparon, which literally means 5-spice. So this has got cumin seed, this has got nigella seed, this has got mustard seed, it's got fennel seed, it's got one other, a fenugreek seed. So this is wonderful, wonderful stuff. So we're going to dry fry this in the bottom of the pan. This is going to start everything off. This one is not going to be ground, but I'm just going to dry fry this off, trying to get some toastiness into them, some nuttiness into them. So we're just going to bring them down here. You can just toss them back in the pan and they'll be ready. And now we're going to start cooking. So we're going to add about 2 or 3 tablespoons of oil here. And I use vegetable oil. You can use ghee, you can use canola oil, but this is just an ordinary vegetable oil. And I'm going to add these seeds that we just dry toasted back in. Can you see now how they begin just to sizzle and to pop, and they're flavouring that oil immediately? And the smells are just absolutely amazing. Once they begin to sputter and to come out, that means they've flavoured the oil. Now you can see there's a little bit of a kind of snap, crackle and pop from those seeds, which means that we're ready and I don't want to burn them. I'm going to add in the onions. Oh, lovely. This is just one chopped onion. I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit. Again, we don't want to burn any of this. Just imagine now, onions with all those flavours. What I'm doing is I'm cooking up the base now before I put all of this in the sous vide with my chicken. And always, whenever you're cooking onions, always add a good pinch of salt. That'll take a lot of the liquid out of them. You'll get much more flavour out of the onions. So we're just going to let this soften. I don't want to let it soften too much because obviously I'm going to let this cook in the sous vide. But I do just want to get some flavour. I want to bring out some of the sweetness. Now we're going to add in some more of our aromatics. So here I have Serrano chili, ginger and garlic. I'm going to let each of these cook off for just a while. So I'm going to pop the chilies in first with all their juices. And just imagine all of these flavours coming together now. Obviously you can put as much chili depending on your tolerance for spiciness. This has quite a lot because I like my food very spicy. This was about 5 Serrano chilies chopped up with the seeds taken out because that's where a lot of the kind of fire comes from. I don't particularly want those. And once they move from a kind of raw chili smell to a cooked chili smell, that's when I begin to add the next ingredient. Now I'm going to add in the chopped garlic. This is about 4 cloves of garlic, just minced up. I would look to cook the chilies and then the garlic and then the ginger for about 3 minutes each, just until they begin to lose that raw smell. Don't forget they're going to carry on cooking in the sous vide as well, but I want to take that rawness off them before I start adding other ingredients. So now I'm going to add in the ginger, fresh ginger, just pureed up. Oh. So now we've cooked off the chilies, the ginger, the garlic, and now we're going to add in some of those dry spices that we've already ground, plus a couple of other special things. So the first one that I want to add in is that little dry mix that we made with the star anise, the cloves, the green cardamom. So the next ingredient is another very special ingredient. I'm not going to use all of this because this is Kashmiri chili that I've dry toasted and then ground up, and this adds a really beautiful red colour. So this is more for colour than it is for flavour, but it will add flavour as well. A very kind of sweet chili flavour. Oh. So I added in maybe about 2 teaspoons of Kashmiri chili powder, and now I'm going to add in almost the same amount of our family garam masala, and there's actually a recipe for this I think on my website. That's a mixture of spices. Garam masala means hot mix, so when you see the recipe every family will have a different version of garam masala depending on what the flavors are that they like in their family. So here we have the ingredients that we have earlier. We have about a tablespoon or so each of hot red chili powder, white pepper, turmeric, ginger and salt. So we're going to add those in. We can, don't have to be too elegant about this, just get in as much as you can. That's perfect. So if you see here, sometimes it can just stick a little bit at the bottom of the pan. Don't put any more oil, but just a little touch of water will help. And finally, just a couple more ingredients before we let this cool down a little bit. So we're going to add in, this is just 1 can of chopped tomatoes. You can use fresh tomatoes, but I actually think the concentration in these tomatoes is very good from a canned tomato, so it works very well. Make sure that this mixes, and I like to put the tomatoes in with this curry mix before it goes in with the chicken. Now you could actually do this mixture with lamb, you could do this mixture with beef, you could do it as I'm doing with chicken. We're just going to let those tomatoes break down a little bit. And now this is another interesting ingredient. This is optional, methi leaf or fenugreek leaf. So I like to add, just as we're getting to this point, about a tablespoon or so. So not much more than this, but I've put extra out here so you can see it. So this is our base for our Bengali chicken curry. So now we've cooked this for about 3 or 4 minutes with the tomatoes and the methi in, and you can see this is just a beautiful curry sauce that we've created here. We'll let it cool down for about 5-10 minutes before we put it into the vacuum sealed bag, and then we'll put it into our water, which should be at the exact perfect temperature, and we'll talk about that in a moment. You can see here that I've actually transferred this curry sauce into a pourer. It just makes it a lot easier to add it to our bag where we're going to have the chicken, rather than having to scoop it out of that pan that we had it in. And we're just going to pour that on top of our chicken, which is already in the sealable bag. Make sure we have a spoon so we get all of it. Smells so good already, it's not even cooked. And now we're going to seal this up. Make sure that that sauce gets all the way around this chicken. We've allowed it to cool down a little bit, so it's not cooking the chicken immediately. We're going to mess that around in there, mix that around in there. You can see it's already getting in with all the chicken pieces. The idea is that we want it to really, really soak in. And now we will seal this up. So just massaging the chicken now, it's in the bag. We've got all that wonderful sauce in there. We want to make sure that that gets into every bit of the chicken, which it will during the sous vide anyway, but it's always good to give it a little helping hand. Then we can seal this up. Signed, sealed, delivered. Wonderful. Now this is going to go into our sous vide. And now it's in the water, which is at 165 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to keep it in there for about 1.5 hours, maybe slightly closer to 2 hours. So there we have it. 2 hours later, we can take this out of the water. The chicken should be perfectly cooked. That sauce should have got everywhere. It should be really delicious. So I'm just going to decant it into this bowl, drain off all this water. Just clip open the top of my bag. Oh, let's have a. Gonna have a smell first. Oh, even though I say so myself, that does smell really, really good. So I'm just going to pop it all into this bag, and then I can go and put it into a more kind of lovely presentation bowl. I wish you could smell this. It is absolutely glorious, and in that sous vide it works so well because the sauce just gets everywhere. So you can see here, I'm going to go and plate this up properly, but the smells are absolutely delicious. So bear with me and I'll show you the finished presentation. So there you have it, and this is the Bengali chicken curry made in the sous vide, which goes to show you can make just about anything in the sous vide. Wonderful piece of equipment. Now, with this Bengali chicken curry, traditional accompaniments: basmati rice, beautiful and aromatic, what's called a kachumber salad of tomato, cucumber, onion and cilantro leaf, and a raita of yogurt, mint and lemon zest. Really, really, really delicious. Will take away the heat from the spice of the curry. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you'll give this a try and let me know if you do. Take care. Bye bye.